Good evening, everyone. So, in the last session, we completed the cloud formation, and in the today's session, we can discuss about application services. So, application services are AWS managed services which can be integrated with your applications. Which can be integrated with your applications. Let us say if your application requires some kind of a task, for that purpose, we can use these application services. Whenever if your application wants to process something, they can take the advantage of these application services and they can fulfill the requirements. What exactly the application services are and how they will work, we can discuss in the today's session. And we have multiple application services out of three which we have to use regularly in the real time. It can be used by any team, that doesn't matter, but three are the most regularly used thing. Apart from that, there are two more application services which we can discuss about that also. The application services are AWS managed services which can be integrated with your applications. Any application. It can be third party application or your website or a web application. It doesn't matter. So depending on the requirement, we have to choose a different application services. What are the application services available on AWS platform are: the first one is simple notification service, which is also called as SNS. Already we have used that SNS without knowing about what exactly the SNS is. And the second one is a simple queue service, which is SQS. The third one, simple email service. These are the most commonly used services. Apart from that, we have something called Elastic Transcoder, and we have a simple workflow, SWF. These are the application services available, and now we can discuss about each and every application service and their use cases, because all application services are not utilized for the same kind of a purpose. Each and every application service is designed for a different or a unique use cases. So first one, SNS. What is a SNS, or when we have to use the SNS? SNS is a kind of a subscription based notification service which will send a notification to multiple users at a time. In the real time, in your applications, it can be any application. What is the use case of the SNS, where we can use the SNS? Okay, I think you might observe that whenever you are using an online stores like Amazon.in or a Flipkart or whatever it is, whenever you are registering for a new account, if you observe, there is one option called subscribe for promotional offers, right? Let us say 10 people are creating a new account on Amazon.in online store. Out of 10 people, just 3 people opted for subscribe to us. In the back end, what will happen there is these 3 people email addresses will be added to a topic. Topic name can be anything which can be defined by the application developer. What is the advantage of these application services are: whenever the organization, the online store wants to send a promotional offer to multiple people, no need to enter the email address of each and every user. What they do is directly they will send a email to the SNS topic. Whoever subscribe to that particular topic, they will receive the email notification. I will give a simple example. I think everybody is using some kind of groups, right? WhatsApp group or anything. So if you have thousands of friends, and out of those only if you add 50 people to one WhatsApp group, instead of sending the message to 50 individual people, if you send the same message to the group, automatically the message will be delivered to every person, right? And also, I'm not sure how many of you are aware of broadcast. Do you know broadcast? broadcast list, but there are some limitations. What is that broadcasting? That is not actually a group, that is a list. That is a list. If you send a message to the subscribe, what we call that, the broadcasting list, everybody will receive the same message. But there are some limitations in the WhatsApp. There is a different case. So this SNS will work as a kind of a broadcasting the messages. In this example, in this use case, it doesn't care about the message has been delivered to the recipient or not. Let us say the radio signals or TV signals, they are broadcasting, right? Let us say there are millions of radios are available across the globe, but they don't care that everybody switched on their radio and they're receiving the signals or not. Directly, they will broadcast the signal. Just whoever wants to receive that particular signal, they need to tune. In the same way, in the SNS, there is no guaranteed delivery, which means it will not verify that the message has been delivered or not. Just simply, it will broadcast the message not to everybody. Whoever subscribed to the topic, only to those people the message will be delivered. Even though it is not guaranteed for a successful delivery for everybody, the failure is very, very less. Almost every time you will receive the messages. Okay, so where we have used the SNS as of now. So in the CloudWatch alarm to receive the alert, we use the SNS. In the billing alarms also, we use the same, right? So the billing alarm will send a message to the topic, SNS topic, and the SNS topic will deliver the message to everybody who subscribed to the topic. That is how it works. This is not a queue system or something. It is not used to maintain a messages in a queue or something. Just it will broadcast the notification to the recipients. It is just a notification service which will deliver a notification. So SNS is Amazon managed subscription based notification service, which means only the subscribed people will receive the message or the notification. Message is not only a text message or a video message, it can be anything. Some instruction is also called as a message. Message can be anything. Okay, so here the notification message will be delivered to the subscribed people only, subscribed users only, and the users need to subscribe to a topic. So now what is a topic? So here I said the users need to subscribe to a topic. In my SNS account, I can create 10 different topics. One is like discounts. The one is like latest products, and the second one is like discounts on electronics, discounts on books, like that, right? Whoever wants to get a notification for a particular criteria, they can only subscribe to that particular topics only. Topic is nothing but a collection of users' email addresses. Topic contains the list of subscribed users. And whenever the user subscribed to a topic, the user will receive a subscription confirmation email, which has to be confirmed by the user. If he don't confirm the subscription, the SNS cannot deliver any messages. It requires the user consent that he is willingly subscribed to that particular topic and they are okay to receive all the notifications. So in this SNS, it is a kind of a push-based system. I can say it is a kind of a push-based system. SNS is a push-based system, which means the user no need to go to the SNS topic and no need to check for the messages. SNS will push all the messages to the subscribed people. Let us say if you want to check something. So in the olden days, what we have to do to check the bank balance, you have to go to the bank and all the things, right? Even now also, you have to send a message or something so that you will receive the confirmation, right? How much balance you have and all the things. That is not a push based. Banking people will never send a message directly. What is your balance, right? But there are some people who will send the balance every day in the morning also, right? That is a push based. Without you are checking every time, they are sending. That is called as a push based. If you are requesting for a balance, that is a pull based mechanism. SNS is a push based system. If there is a message in the SNS topic, it will be delivered to the recipient. There is no wait or there is no need of the user to go to the SNS topic to check that do I have any emails or do I have any messages. Okay. So now what I do is quickly I will create one topic and I will add a few people into that few email addresses and we will check whether the messages will be delivered to all the people or not. So first what I do is create a SNS topic. Generally, we will create the topic and the developers will integrate this SNS with the applications because that has to be done at the coding level. Just we will check how it works. As of now, we have only used it with your CloudWatch and all the things, right? That is our job. If they want to implement, subscribe to us, they don't ask you to log into the AWS account to subscribe, right? And they don't collect your email addresses and they don't manually add it. They will automate that using some APIs. In the API, they will mention the ARN or the details of the SNS topic. But we do it manually because we are not designing any APIs or any development kind of a thing. Create an SNS topic, like I can say a sample topic, and subscribe with at least two email addresses. So we have to check whether the people are able to receive the messages or not, email messages. And the second one, log into both email accounts and confirm the subscription. Without confirmation, the users cannot receive the emails. And as an administrator, we can verify that how many people subscribe and how many people confirm the subscription also. If someone failed to subscribe, the subscription confirmation email is valid only for few days, like I think only 1 or 2 days. So then we can resend a subscription confirmation email manually. Okay. Then what we do is send a test email to the SNS topic and verify that the both emails receive the same email notification. So how to create that is just go to your Amazon account. But being a solutions architect, we will use the SNS for generating the alerts from your CloudWatch. 100% we use the SNS for that only. If you're a developer, you don't use that for the CloudWatch. You can use that with your application. Even in the previous sessions, we integrated the SNS with your CloudWatch, and even we integrated with auto scaling also, right? Whenever a new instance got created, we were able to receive a notification. So the SNS can be integrated with any applications. It can be AWS services or it can be third-party applications also, like your web application, website, or anything. In the search box, type SNS, simple notification service. Click on the SNS. I think we might have multiple topics already. How many topics are there? 7 topics. The one which we created in the previous sessions, like billing alarm or whatever it is, that doesn't matter. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on create topic. So how many types are there? 2 types, FIFO and standard. So the FIFO is for if you want to send a message to the next application service which we are about to discuss is called as SQS, then we have to use that FIFO. In all other cases, you have to use a standard for like mobile applications or email delivery or Lambda or anything. standard. Topic name, my sample topic, or I think we have used a sample topic. Display name, you can use any name, or I can say sample topic. If you want to enable the encryption, everything you can do that. But now I will leave all optional things as it is. Click on create topic. Just we created one empty topic, right? Okay, let me go back to the topics. So where is our topic? This is our topic, right? Let me click on the topic. You can see the name of the topic, display name of the topic. Topic owner is the account ID of my AWS account. This is the ARN, Amazon resource name. Now, who subscribed to this? As of now, we haven't added any email addresses, right? So the subscriptions, we can verify under subscriptions tab. No email was added as a subscriber. Now I'm going to click on create subscription and protocol for email. I want to receive the email. So here I will add my email address. After your subscription is created, you must confirm it. Generally in the applications, they will do it automatically in the backend using the APIs. They don't manually enter the emails and everything. Whenever the user enter the email address, that will be automatically filled in these places. Then click on create subscription. And also, I want to create one more subscription. Let me go to the sample topic. So here you can see there is already one subscriber added, but confirmation is pending. Click on create subscription again. Protocol is going to be email. I will use one more email address. And click on create subscription. So we added totally 2 subscriptions, but 2 are still in pending state. 2 are in pending state. Okay, let me go to the email to confirm. Once I confirm, we will see how it looks like in your SNS console. Okay, so if you don't see any email in your inbox, go to the spam. It might be received in a spam also. See here, sample topic, AWS notification, subscription confirmation. Click on that. You can see that you have chosen to subscribe to the topic so and so. To confirm this subscription, you have to click on confirm subscription. So I confirmed the subscription only from one email, right? So if I go back to the SNS and if I do a refresh, sample topic, and you can see one thing got confirmed. Still, the other email did not confirm that particular subscription, right? Okay, let me go to the other email address also. Somewhere here, not this one. Let me go to the spam. Here it is. Okay, let me click on not spam so that from now onwards I will receive the emails into my inbox. Click on confirm subscription. Done. If I go to the simple notification service and if I refresh, I can see the status of both endpoints or both the subscribers as confirmed. Now I want to publish a message to this particular topic. How to send a message or how to publish a message to a topic is select the topic, click on publish message, subject. I can say what we call that, any message subject you can use. Test message from SMS. Time to live is optional. Generally, this is for if you are sending some notification to mobile application, then we have to use a TTL. Actually, there's an option. So it will take maximum that time to deliver the message. So now here, just scroll down. Here you can send some message. So sample notification email from SNS topic. And then you can click on publish message. But here there is no option that the message has been delivered to these 2 subscribers or not. There is no option. So how to verify that is, only the users can confirm. This is the first email address. And let me go to the inbox. You can see what is the subject: test message from SNS, and the body of the email notification is sample notification email from SNS top. Let me go to the other email. See, we send only one message to the topic, and whoever added to that particular topic, they will receive the message. This is how we will configure to receive any kind of a notifications. But this is purely works based on subscription confirmation only. Only based on subscription confirmation. Okay. Now we have another thing. The next application service is simple queue service. Being a solutions architect, we don't have any requirement or use case to use this SQS, but for interview point of view or for certification point of view, you must know about what this SQS is. That is a mandatory. You might expect a question also. Then who will use this? Developers will use that. Like why they are using? To understand that, first we have to know what exactly the SQS is. Can you guess based on the name what might be the simple queue service? Can you guess what might be this application service? Actually, there is a queue system. There is a queue system. What is the meaning of a queue? What is the meaning of a queue? Like it will maintain something in a queue, in an order, right? So why we need to maintain a queue system? Where we have to use some this kind of a queue system in your applications. Any guess? Any use case? It can be anything. Just I will give a simple example, but practically we cannot do that because it requires some application, some tools. There are a lot of things required. Just we will try to understand with a basic example where we need the queue system is. Okay. Let us say you have something, some web application. You are running a website. This is your website. What exactly this website will do is, if a user upload a Word document, if a user uploaded a Word document, that will be converted into PDF. That will be converted into PDF, and that PDF document will be stored in some storage. In our example, let us take that as a S3. But your website cannot convert anything from one format to another format. It requires some kind of function, or it requires some kind of a tool or something, right? Just I took the basic example. If a user uploads a Word document, that Word document will be converted into PDF, and that PDF will be uploaded into the S3 bucket. The reason can be anything, that doesn't matter. Okay. So here there will be a tool, which will convert the Word document into PDF document. Now, this tool can handle only one instruction at a time, which is nothing but a one message. What is the message? Whenever the user uploaded a document called one.doc, it will be sent to the tool as a message. That is called as a message. And this tool can handle only one conversion at a time. And it will convert that, and the PDF document will be uploaded here. What if at a time three people uploaded the document? Three Word documents uploaded into your, what we call that, into your application. So that all the three messages will be sent to the recipient. This is called as a receiver. Technically, this is a receiver who is receiving the message, and this is a sender who is sending the message. Now it has a capacity of only one conversion at a time, so it can maintain the remaining two in the memory as a queue or something. What if there are five messages, five documents uploaded at a time, 4.doc and 5.doc. But this tool cannot maintain the 5 messages in a queue. It doesn't have that capacity. Then there is a chance that some messages will be missed. So here what we do is we will maintain a queue system. Let me move the receiver tool here. This is the tool, or we call it as a receiver, which can handle only one conversion at a time, which cannot handle multiple conversions at a time, and it cannot maintain a queue. Even if it is able to maintain, only one or two messages can be maintained. So here, what we do is we will maintain a queue system. We maintain a queue system between the application and the tool, like sender and receiver. We will not allow the sender to communicate with the receiver directly. This is going to be the queue system. What it will do is it will maintain, let us say, 5 people entered at a time. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let us say only 4 documents uploaded. So 4 messages will be sent to the queue. All the messages will be maintained in a queue. Now, it is not a push-based system because it don't know about who are the receivers. It is a pull-based system. In the receiver, the developer will configure that, go to the queue system and get a message. What it will do, it will send a message that, do you have any message? Yes, I have a message, and it will allocate the message 1 here. So the receiver will be busy in converting the message 1. Once it converts and the 1.pdf got uploaded here, it will send an acknowledgement that I'm done with the processing of the first message. Then the message 1 will be removed from the queue system, so that every message will be processed at least once. So here SQS will give you a guarantee that the message will be delivered at least once. But there are few other terms which we have to know, because the receivers can be multiple receivers, because you are expecting a huge amount of conversions. So a single tool cannot handle. I mean, if a single tool is going to handle, there will be a lot of pending messages in a queue, right? There will be some delay. So you expected that it requires two receivers. Two receivers. Now, how it works is the message 1 will be allocated to the tool 1. Now the tool 2 will go to the queue system and it will ask that, do you have any message? Which message will be allocated? 1 or 2? Why? Still 1 is in the queue, right? 1 will not be deleted from the queue until the message has been processed. To avoid the confusion, like the same message to be processed by multiple receivers, whenever the message 1 has been allocated to the tool 1, what it will do is it will apply a visibility timeout. We call it as visibility timeout. Still, that is in the queue, but that is not visible to any receiver. Now, by default, the visibility timeout will be 5 minutes. If the tool is unable to complete the process within 5 minutes, like the queue system will wait for 5 minutes for an acknowledgement from your tool. If the tool is unable to send an acknowledgement that the message 1 has been delivered successfully, again the message 1 will be added to the queue. You can adjust these minutes depending on how much time it will take to compress or convert a document. Let us say if we take 2 minutes, we can go for 5 minutes. Okay, so just to avoid the same message to be processed multiple times. Now the tool 2 has been requesting for a message. So 2 will be allocated here and the same 2 will be applied with visibility time. The tool 1, let us say within 5 minutes, it sent an acknowledgement that the message 1 has been converted properly and that was stored into the S3 bucket. Now, the message 1 will be removed from the queue system. Now the 2 is processed by the tool 2 Due to some reason, the tool 2 got crashed. The tool 2, the receiver 2 got crashed, or it got restarted, which might take 10 minutes of it. Will wait for 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes, if the queue system doesn't receive an acknowledgement from tool 2, then the message 2 will be re-added to the queue system, and whatever the receiver came for a message, that will be allocated. Again, it will be allocated. But here, in this SQS, sometimes your message will be processed twice also. What is the use case, like what is the chances of that? Why it will maintain? Why the message will be processed twice? Because until it acknowledge, it will be in the visibility time. There are two different reasons. One is if the conversion might take more than 5 minutes, but the visibility time only is 5 minutes. So let us say the conversion will take 6 minutes of time. After 5 minutes, the message one will be re-added to the queue, and the same message one will be allocated to some other, what we call that, some other receiver. So that's why always we will set the visibility timeout more than the actual time required for the processing of the message. Okay, let us say it will take 1 minute of time, but you have set the visibility timeout as a 5 minutes. So there will be no duplicate messages, right? But still there is a chance. What is the chance is, let us say the one message one has been allocated to the tool one. So immediately the message one will be applied within the visibility time. So tool one is processing, successfully converted the document to PDF. Then it will upload the document here. Again done. While it is sending the acknowledgement, due to some network issues with the tool one or some hardware issues or something, the tool one got crashed. Like before sending an acknowledgement, like it is a points of second, like a milliseconds or a few seconds of time between that seconds gap before sending an acknowledgement, like between successfully stored the object and before sending an acknowledgement, the tool one got unrest, like due to network issue or hardware issue or anything. Now, after 5 minutes, the message one will be re-added to the queue. Again, the message one will be allocated to another receiver. Again, it will process. This is the most common use case whenever you are able to get the same message twice. Now it was resolved in the olden days, like whenever you withdraw the money, the bank will send you a message, notification. But sometimes you might receive the same message twice or thrice also. But nowadays that's very less chances, because in those days that was the technology. To make sure that the message to be delivered at least once, due to some communication issues, the same message will be delivered twice, but the money will not be directed from your account. Just a notification will be duplicated. Again, the queue system, SQS, will support two types of queues. One is a standard queue, and the second one is first in, first out. One is a standard queue, the second one is a first in, first out. In the standard queue, there is a chances of these kind of duplicates. In the first in, first out, you will not get any duplicate messages. Now everybody is using this one. What is FIFO? Whatever the message enters the queue first, that will be allocated first to the receiver. The SQS is a pull-based system, which means the queue will never send any message to any receiver. Receiver has to come to the queue to check for the messages. They will pull the messages, they will process, and they will acknowledge. Okay, right. So let us write down the points about the queue system. SQS is again AWS manage queue service, which is pull based system. It will never push any messages to the receiver. Where we will use a queue is SQS can be used to decouple or maintain the messages in a queue by decoupling the sender and receiver. Between the sender and receiver, the queue system will be maintained so that all the messages will be maintained in a queue, and it will make sure that the message will be delivered at least once. SQS will make sure that the message will be delivered at least once. At least once. And the SQS supports two types of queues. One is a standard, and the second one is FIFO. There are some limitations, some restrictions. The standard queue supports almost unlimited messages per second. Almost unlimited messages per second. Whereas the FIFO can support, I think, maximum up to 3,000 messages per second, which can be increased up to 30,000. Which can be increased up to 30,000. I think initially it was 300 only, which can be increased to 3,000. Then you can enable enhanced performance to achieve 30,000 messages per second. The standard supports almost unlimited messages per second, but chance of duplicate messages. In the FIFO, it can support up to 30,000 messages with enhanced performance. If you don't enable that enhanced performance, it will be limited with up to 3,000 only. It depends on your requirement. Depends on your requirement. You can send up to 30,000 messages. 30,000 messages per second. Okay. And is the full decent system. And here, the receiver needs to contact the queue for the message. Once the message is allocated to any receiver, visibility timeout will be applied on the message to avoid the message to be processed twice. Once the receiver acknowledge the successful delivery of the message, the actual message will be deleted from the queue. By default, the visibility timeout is 5 minutes. By default, the visibility timeout is 5 minutes, which can be modified as per the requirement. What is the requirement here? If your receiver require like 10 minutes of time to process the message, then the visibility timeout of 5 minutes is useless. So you can increase that to like 15 minutes also. It has to wait for the acknowledgement, right? Once it receives the acknowledgement, then only the message has to be deleted from the queue. If the receiver takes 10 minutes of time and if the visibility timeout is 5 minutes, the same message will be processed multiple times, which will create an infinite loop. Which will create an infinite loop. So this will be used by most of the times by the developers. Developers will use the SQS, and SQS is also eligible for free tier, but in the real time in the production, they don't consider about whether it is a free tier or not. If they need it, they will use it. And then we have the other thing, other application service called simple email service. What might be this? What is this simple email service? Being a solution architect, we will create this quite often. We will create that SES. What is the use of SES? Does it provide any email service? Like every company will use emails, right? Does it provide any such kind of email service? Not exactly. Not exactly it will provide email because I think everybody will use Microsoft Office, like what we call that Office 365 or some Google's Gmail business thing, G Suite, like that they will use it, right? Then what is this simple email service? Whenever you are using an email, the email will have two different types of actions, right? What are the two things we can do using the email? What is the purpose of email? So sending and receive the email. So in the olden days, every company will maintain their own mail server. Every company. Have you ever heard about Exchange server? Exchange server. That is an email software which is provided by Microsoft. Have you heard about Jibra? That is also an email server. If you maintain that server, this server will handle the sending and receiving the emails. So for sending an email, an SMTP protocol will be used. To receive the email, now we are using IMAP protocol. Like this software contains those two different services. But in the olden days, there is another thing called POP3. No one is using that. Now, SMTP or IMAP. Whenever you are receiving an email in your Gmail, the backend IMAP service is receiving the emails into your inbox. Technically, we can call that inbox as a mailbox. If you don't have a mailbox, you don't receive any emails. And whenever you open your Gmail and whenever you click on send button, your email will be delivered using the SMTP server. SMTP stands for Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. In general, the SES will give you the SMTP service. So why? Why only SMTP service? Why not IMAP? Any guess? Where we need SMTP service? Any guess? If you have only SMTP service means you can only send them messages. You cannot receive any email, any replies back or any emails back to that particular email address. Have you ever seen such kind of emails? So whenever you create a new, what we call the new AWS account also, you will receive a welcome email, right? What was the email address? Okay, let us say you are running an web application, like a kind of website where you will allow the people to register for an account so that they can view all the data and everything. Whenever they sign up to your AWS account, sorry, any of your website, you have to send a welcome email, right? Let us say the website name is abc.com. Generally, those kind of welcome emails will be delivered using a from email address called no reply. It can be anything that doesn't matter. No reply at the rate abc.com, right? Have you ever tried sending an email to these kind of email addresses? Even if you send, it will be bounced. It cannot be delivered because they don't have any kind of mailboxes. Let us say you are using Facebook. I'm not sure like how they are using the forget password, but there are some applications. Whenever you forget your password, you have to click on send a password reset link so that they will send one email to your one mail to your email. By clicking on a link, you can reset the password, right? Who will send that email? Definitely not a manual process, right? In the what we call that in the while they are designing the code, they will have some block where they can mention SMTP details. Somewhere here the mail server is running. This code will trigger by using the mail server. The email will be delivered to the person. You can say Gmail is having a mail server, right? Does the Gmail is having a SMTP? Yes. So can I use SMTP of Gmail? Yes, you can. But the limitation is you can send only 200 emails per day. You cannot send more than 200 emails per day. Let us say you're running a marketing company, so you have to send some promotional emails or marketing emails, like daily thousands of emails, right? Or forget about the marketing. Let us say you're running an application like a Facebook. Per day, like let us say thousands of people will click forget password button. So you have to send thousands of emails. So you cannot survive with a Gmail or some kind of email services, right? But you cannot afford a separate mail server to be running in your office because you don't need that much server, or you cannot use the smallest Gmail server. So you can use a simple email service where Amazon will provide the SMTP service for you. They will provide the details like SMTP address, where is the SMTP service running, username, password, and the port numbers. Just you have to share those details with your developer so that the developer will configure that details in the code, and your application will start using the SMTP service available on AWS to send an emails. So I want to send a email like from help@abc.com. Can I send? What are the emails I am sending? I want to send the email from this email address. Can I send? Yes, if I am the owner of this particular domain name, or at least if I am the owner of this email address. Otherwise, I can create one SES and I can say hr@ibm.com and I can send the emails, right? So without validating that you are the owner of this particular domain name, or at least the owner of this email, SCS will not allow you to use that particular email address to send an email. And the SES is available in two different modes. By default, in your account, the SES is available as a sandbox environment, like for testing purpose or something, which has some limitations. If you want to use it for a production, you have to convert that into production by submitting a request. What is the difference between the sandbox and production? Being in the live, you have to send like emails to thousands of people, right? So no need to validate or verify the recipient email address in the production. Sandbox environment means a kind of a test environment in which you have to validate your from email address and also the recipient email address, because that is not for the production, right? And the another restriction is you can send, I think, 200 emails per day, one email per second. You cannot send more than one email per second. In the production, there is no such limits. So if you want to use that SCS for your production purpose, you have to convert the sandbox environment into the production environment. Right. So how to delete all these SMS topics which we created? Go to the topic, and here if I go to the subscriptions, you can see the list of subscriptions here. You can select the subscriptions. You can delete the subscriptions manually. And then you have to select the topic and you can delete the topic. If I delete the topics, does the subscriptions will be removed? Let me delete all the topics so that we can see the what will happen to the subscriptions. Generally, I recommend whenever you're trying to delete the topic, first you have to delete the subscriptions. Like how to delete the subscription? You can go on here and you can delete, or you can click on here, you can go to the topic, and here in the subscriptions, you can select the subscription and you can delete. Right, so then just delete. Can't we delete all subscriptions at a time? Because this is a radio button. You cannot delete all subscriptions at a time, like all topics at a time. So now I deleted all topics, right? What happened to the subscriptions? Does the subscriptions automatically delete it? Okay, I deleted all topics, no topics in my account. If I go to subscriptions, what happened? Can I delete now? So you have to delete. If you delete the topic, the subscriptions will be available as it is. You have to remove the subscriptions manually. Okay, so now quickly let me go to the SES. So we haven't written anything, right? Okay. I can say SES is AWS managed SMTP service which can be integrated with applications to send automated to send emails to any user. There is no subscription or nothing. SES is available in two different modes or two different environments, I can say. Technically, it is called as an environment. One is sandbox environment. Sandbox environment in which there are some. What are the limitation is 200 emails per day, one email per second, and from email and to email must be validated from email or domain and to email or domain. Domain means abc.com. If you validate abc.com or gmail.com, then automatically you can send to any email address in the Gmail. And in the production environment, the limitations are there is no limitations. The only limitation is you must validate the from email or domain before sending the emails. Before sending the emails, you must validate the email address from which you are sent. Instead, if you validate what they call an abc.com, you can use any email address in the abc.com, like help at abc.com, support at abc.com, anything. And one more important thing is SCS, especially it is a SMTP service, right? Doesn't provide any mailbox to receive incoming emails. So you cannot get any replies to your emails sent using the SMTP service because it doesn't have any icon. That is the main use case of SES. So what I do is just give me a second because I think I have to clean up the things in the SES because I guess last time I have used this AWS account. So let me clean up the existing things. Then we can go with. So we don't have any domain name, or we don't have any. I think we have a domain name, right? Okay. What is the domain name? I think we are using this AWS account only. Let me check that so that I can use that from email, from as my domain. I think AWSclasses.com or something. Okay, let me check that. Yeah, I have AWS library.com is a domain name. I will use that. Okay. So what I do is create SES account to send emails as no reply at the rate AWS library.com. So whatever the emails I am sending to the users, they will receive my email with this particular email address. I don't have any mail service for the domain. I don't have any mails or anything. First email I'm going to create, or you can use 123 or XYZ, that doesn't matter. What are the steps is, but you don't have any domain name, right? So you can decide one from email address and one to email address. You need two email accounts to check the practice. Like one abc at gmail.com, xyz at gmail.com. One is a from and one is a to. As our account is in the sandbox environment, we have to validate from and a to addresses also. So first step, validate the domain name AWS library.com, which means you are the owner of the domain. In your case, you can validate your from email address. In your case, as you don't have any domain. And then, as we are in the sandbox environment, validate the recipient email address. I will use this is the to address. To this email, I am going to send. If your SES is in the production account, you can skip the step of P. You can set the step. Now, create SMTP account credentials. I can say SMTP credentials and note down the details. These are the details to be shared with whoever requires, like developer or whatever it is. Whoever need the details, you have to send those details, whatever we are going to run. But what we do is we will send a test email from SES because we don't have any application, right? We will simulate whether the message or the mail is delivered or not. So first, let me go to our Amazon account and type SES in the service search box. Amazon simple email service, which can be used to send and receive the messages, but nobody will use to receive the messages. Okay, what is the account? Your Amazon SES account is in the sandbox. If you want to convert that into production, you have to click on request production access. You have to fill this form and you have to submit. After verifying, they will make your account as a production. Okay. And what are the limits? 200 emails in one day, one email per second. And how many remaining? Because today I haven't used it. Okay. Now, first thing, I'm going to send an email to multiple people as this one. No reply at awslibrary.com. Let us say if you are using your email address, your name at gmail.com as a from, instead of, you cannot validate gmail.com, right? You are not the owner. So you have to validate your email address. Now I'm going to validate my domain. How to validate that is in the SES account on the left side, click on the verified identities, create identity. I'm going to validate domain. In your case, you have to select the email address, enter your from email address here. Select the domain. I will type awslibrary.com, the domain name, and scroll down, click on create identity. But still, they don't validate it, right? What is the status? How to verify? How to prove that I am the owner? How to prove that I am the owner? To prove that, you have to create these records in your domain. When you can create these records, if you are the owner, right? If you are not the owner, you cannot manage the DNS of awslibrary.com, right? Okay. So how to create? Go to your DNS, wherever your DNS is. Let me open in a new tab. We have to create all the three records. Amazon will check for these three records are available in your under your domain name or not. If these three are available, so they can validate that okay, you are the owner. That's how you are created. If you if you are trying to creating identity, you can get a different names, different values. If the same names and same values, anybody can validate any domain name, right? So for every time, these values will be different. Okay, so what happened? Route 53. Because in Route 53, I am using my DNS for that particular domain name. But in your case, if you are verifying your email, you will receive a confirmation email to your email address. You have to click on that confirm. That's it. Okay, let me go to the hosted zone and you can go to your domain name and here click on create record. So what type of record it is asking you to create? Wait a second. C name, right? Okay. Record type C name. What is the record name? This. No need to add this last awslibrary.com because that is already available here. Enter that. Then what is the value? This is the value. Enter it. TTL I will go with 60 seconds. We have to create 2 more records, right? Add another record. Copy. Just to avoid the typing mistakes, I will copy and I will remove the last awslibrary.com. Record type CNAME, the value. This is the value. TTL 1 minute. Record 3. Record 3 is also CNAME. Record type CNAME. Value. I'll just click on create records. What happened? Wait. It seems something is already available. But I don't know why. I will do one thing. Let me create one by one. First one is USA to something. Okay. Wait a second. Okay. They are available. Can you guess why? We haven't created, right? But why? There is a chance, there is an option automatically. If the domain is hosted in the same AWS account, automatically they will be validated. That's the part. But if you have in a different AWS account, you have to validate it manually. But that is the process. Okay. Now, if I go to the SES and if I go to identities, now the records are available, right? Now, what is the identity status? Verified. So now I can send emails by using any email under awslibrary.com. But my account is not a production environment. I have to validate 2 addresses also, 2 email addresses. So how to do that? Select email, whether it's a to or from, that doesn't matter. The process will be the same. Select the email address. You type the email address here. How they will verify I am the owner of this? I mean, this particular email address is okay to receive. They will send a confirmation email. So if they click on confirm, then the email is added to the verified list and they will start receiving the emails. But in the production, no need to add the 2 email addresses, like to whom you are sending. No need to verify those email addresses. See here, what is the status? Verification pending. If I go there, I can see, congratulations, your PKM setup, something is there. So you have to, where is the confirm? No, this is not the one. This is the one. Email address verification request. The first one was for adding awslibrary.com. So we have received a request to authorize this email address for use with Amazon SES. Click here. Verification done. You can start sending email from this address, or you can start receiving the email addresses from this. Okay. Now, what I do is, if I go there, where is the refresh button? No refresh button. Let me go back and let me click on verified identities. Verify. So we don't have any application, right? External application or something. So directly we can send a test email. How to send a test email is like select that, send a test email. Sorry, what we call that? Select your from where you would like to send the email. Select that from identity. Send a test email from address. I can say no dash reply because I validated the domain name, right? I can use any email address. Scenario, I will use the custom recipient, the one which we already validated. Subject test email from SES and click on send test email. So it is in the same Amazon, so automatically with the logged in details, it will validate my credentials and everything. But if it is used with some other third party applications, you have to share the SES account details. I will show you that, how to do that and all the things. If I go to the email, you can see I received a no reply. Click on that. What is the from address? No reply at awslibrary.com. So if I do a reply, what will happen? It will be bounced because there is no such mailbox exist. So definitely you will receive email delivery failed. It will take some time, but you will get email delivery failed. So what if your developer wants to use this SES to integrate with their, what we call that, their application? Then we have to provide username password for authentication. How to get that is on the left side, you can see there is one SMTP settings, right? So these are the SMTP setting details. These are common for every AWS account. Username and passwords are different. These are common for every Amazon account which are using SES. So first thing is SMTP endpoint. SMTP endpoint. Then start TLS port. Depending on their application, they can decide what port to be used, like what kind of authentication they use and all the things. Then transport layer security required. So in their application, they need to enable TLS. While they are designing the application, the TLS must be enabled. TLS port number. These are the TLS port. Then we need to provide username and password. With authentication only, they can send the emails. Without authentication, they cannot send. Where is the username and password? So here, create SMTP credentials. Obviously, it's an IAM user with a programmatic access. I will show you. Click on that. So this you can change with any name. I can say SMTP user. Any name, that doesn't matter. Click on create. What it will do? It is providing a permission to send an email. This user only send email using SES. That's automatically applied. So click on create. These are the SMTP username, and here is the SMTP password. After creating, we have to share these details with your developers or testing team or whatever, whoever requires SMTP details, you have to share the selected part. That is our job to create. How to create? This is how we need to create. Okay, so these three are mandatory. Just you can expect a question in the certification exam. Majority of the time, you can expect a question from the SQS. 90% the question will be from SQS, simple queue service. Whether it's a pull-based system or push-based system, you don't get such kind of a questions. They will give a scenario like whatever the example I have explained, the same kind of a scenario they will give, and what kind of service to be used. They will give SNS, SQS, something else. So if you know the concept, it will be easy for you to identify the answer will be SQS. And there are two other services. One is elastic transcoder, small things. What is elastic transcoder is, this elastic transcoder is used to convert the media files from one format to another format. Let's say you have a video file. From video file, you want to extract an audio file. Generally, in the olden days, what we have to do, we will download a software, we will install it, then we will upload a video, then you can select the output format. So MP3 file or something will be delivered, right? Instead of installing the softwares, directly you can upload the video file into an S3 bucket, and you can use a transcoder to convert the video file from one format to other format, like HD video to 3GB or MP4 or whatever it is. Generally, the media companies will use this. So to maintain the same video in different formats, like resolution differences, right? So that will be converted using the elastic transcoder. And the other one is simple work flow, which is also called as SWF. This is used to maintain the tasks can be executed in a sequential order. I will give a simple example so that you can understand it easily. SWF can be used to maintain the tasks to be executed in an order. Okay, let us take the example of online store. Let us say Amazon online store. What are the different what is the process from buying an item from starting to ending? Like purchasing an item is the starting point, successful delivery is the end point, right? What are the different phases available there? Different steps. Without logging in, you cannot purchase, right? Without login, you cannot purchase. So the step one is going to be login. Then second step, without selecting the product, how can you purchase? Selecting a product, then purchase, like add to cart or buy now or something. So whenever you buy, directly they will deliver? No. They will do payment verification. Then they will pack the shipment, like they will pack the item. Then shipping. Again, there are multiple steps, just I'm avoiding all the things. Shipping. Then like they will hand over the item to the shipping partner or something. Then it will be in transit. Then it will be delivered. So based on the requirement, they will allow some returns also, right? Okay, now I logged into the account, I selected a product, and if I do a return, then which is not the process, right? So what they do is, while they are designing the steps, this is called as a process, right? Sequential tasks, task sequence. So they will use some kind of a task sequence that if the previous task is done, then only the next task will be enabled for the process. So without logging in, I cannot select a product, but Amazon will allow to select the product. But assume that, let us say without buying, do they verify the payment verification? No. Once it got purchased, then only the payment has to be verified. Without payment verification, the item should not be packed or the item should not be prepared for the shipment. If so, they will get a huge loss, right? Let us say if I click on buy and I haven't done any payment, then if the next people without payment verification, if they started the packing the item and if they are shipping it, then that will be a loss, right? So everything will be automated. Each and every step will be taken care by different teams. Let us say I am working in the payment verification team, or let us say I am working in the packing item team. So once I am successfully done with the packing the item, then I will complete the task 5. Then it will be ready for the next team who will hand over that to the shipping partner. Without preparing the or without packing the item, if the courier team came to the pick the item, that's a waste of time, right? So this SWF simple workflow will be used to maintain the tasks to be executed in a sequential order. Like if you check with any IT team in the companies, they do follow these kind of sequential things, but they don't use SWF. In the Microsoft itself, let us say if you join in any company, they will give you the laptop, right? But before allocating your laptop or a desktop, they need to prepare the laptop for you. Like let us say installing the operating system, installing the softwares, adding your user account, and then providing the necessary permissions. This has to be executed in this order only. Without installing the operating system, can they add your username to the laptop? No. So they will design a sequence of tasks, which is an automated thing. They will write down the steps. They have a lot of things, SCOM, SCCM. They use different tools, Microsoft tools. It will first install the operating system. Once operating system installation is done, then it will go for the next step like installing software 1, software 2, software 3. Without installing the operating system, if the software installation initiated, there is of no use. Without an operating system, how can we install a software? Right? So this SWF can be used to maintain the tasks to be executed in an order. But these are not a part of a solutions architect certification exam. The first three, you can expect one question in the certification exam. Not only in the certification, if you go for an interview, you can expect a question on those SNS, SWF, and SQS. Okay, so these are about the application services. Okay, so are you guys clear on the application services or any questions on the application services? Any questions? So this whatever the SWF I said, there is a different concept called a step functions in AWS. Both are different. Step functions is a completely different, which is used by the developers. Step functions are different, and this is a different. That will be used with some lambda, some kind of things. That's a completely different. That's a purely a developer. Step function is a developer tool. Okay. Any questions on any application services? Okay, I said what we call that SMTP is Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, right? What is IMAP? IMAP, Internet Messaging Access Protocol, and I use one other word called POP3, right? But nowadays no one is using that. What is that POP3? That was a post office protocol. Nowadays no one is using POP3. IMAP stands for Internet Messaging Access Protocol. Internet Messaging Access Protocol. Okay, and I also said that for Gmail also there is a SMTP, right? Let us say you started a small application, and you cannot afford the SES. Then how to use Gmail as your SMTP? Okay, if you go to the Google, I can say Gmail SMTP details. This one. smtp.gmail.com is the SMTP mail address. Requires SSL, TLS, yes. Authentication, SSL 465. If you are using TLS or Start TLS, you have to use 587. What is the username and password? Your actual Gmail and password. And if it is IMAP, this is the one. IMAP port number is 9983. SMTP, if it is without authentication, the SMTP plain protocol port number will be 25 without authentication. But if you are doing any messages without authentication on using your own mail server, there is a high chances that your messages will be delivered into a spam, because there is no verification, right? That's why they will go for spam. Nowadays, no one is using the 25 port. Everybody is using 587 or a 465, like at least a TLS or a Start TLS. Depends on their requirement. So just you have to share all the details, all these details. The developers can pick whatever the port or whatever the protocol they want to use. Here you can see 25, right? If you use a 25, there's a plain. Whatever the messages you are sending, they will not be encrypted. There is no security. TLS means transmission layer security. Transmission layer security. Like while it is transmitted, the data will be secure. It is not a HTTPS. It is a completely different from HTTPS. It's like application level encryption. There is also in-transit encryption, but a different method. Okay. Any questions? So are we done with the storage gateways? Storage gateway, tape gateway, volume gateway, file gateway. No, right? Okay. So tomorrow is Thursday, right? Okay. So tomorrow we can go with the storage gateways. In the real time we don't use, but for certification purpose, we need to know what are those storage gateways and everything. So there are 4 different types of gateways available under storage gateway. In the tomorrow session, we can complete about the storage gateway. Then we have one more developer tool that we can go on Friday, which is a Lambda and something like AWS calculator we can see, so that we can complete the topics. Then we can go with some kind of a deployment, like how to create an infrastructure for the production environment, that we can see. Mostly by end of the next week, we can complete the topics. Okay, right. Any questions? Okay, then if you guys are clear, you guys can leave. If you have a question, just we can wait and you can ask the questions. Right? Okay, thank you everyone. We'll continue tomorrow.